welcome back to another Legally Melanin podcast episode. This is Binti.
This is Liz.
This is Esther.
Je m'appelle Hanny.
Okay, that works.
Well, that works, yeah.
Yes, it does.
Bonjour.
Buongiorno.
Anifa, I think you're the one that doesn't know about this yet. Elizabeth and Binti might know about it. Yeah. So last week, was it last week? I think a week and a half ago, I flashed my workmates on Zoom.
No, I actually don't know this.
How?
You did it? Oh, so it was only Liz I told.
Yeah.
I called Liz immediately. So I was on Zoom with my workmate. We're doing a meeting.
Yeah.
And I had a top on and my, like a crop jumper.
Mm-hmm.
But my bottom part, I only had my robe.
Yes.
And Milo, I was kneeling on the floor and I was on Zoom and my computer was facing the mirror. I forgot. So Milo was doing something, like he was climbing on me and it was clawing me. So I wanted to go and get something to cover my body so it doesn't keep clawing on me. So I got up, went to the other side of my bed. Apparently they could see everything. My entire belly. I was doing belly dancing and not even a good one. My entire belly was showing. The entire bottom was showing.
Oh my God.
And I came back and I was like, oh, and I was like, I waved in the mirror. Can they see me? So I came back. No one said anything. And I literally said, you know me, my big mouth. I said, when I got up just then, did you guys see anything? They said, yep. And one of my workmates said, I didn't look out of respect.
Okay. That's interesting.
I just thought to tell you
You
that.
just think that they'll at least tell you or
Like
just
yell
your
and say,
name.
Esther, down, down, down.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I had to reenact the whole thing to see if I actually showed
So much.
nudity.
Yeah.
But the
Oh,
fact
no.
that you guys know how I feel about my belly. I don't like it. It's not the biggest in the world, but I just don't like it. But the fact that I
Yeah.
was standing on the other side of the bed doing belly dance, because if you move, the belly jiggles. And I was doing all of that and didn't say anything. Well, okay.
Zoom calls are a nightmare, man.
Honestly, I was petrified.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's happened to me also sometime last week. We were having a Zoom meeting for our whole business unit. That's about 50 people. So, and I forgot to mute.
50 people.
I was not on video, but it was audio. And I was yelling at Aiden.
Oh my God.
And then someone keeps on pinging me on Teams, like, honey, we can
Oh,
all hear you."
like mute
Oh my
yourself.
And he was with his teacher, but then he ran to the pantry, and then before you know it, he's opening the fridge, and I'm like, come on, you're gonna eat everything before the coronavirus goes away. Go back and sit down. I said, sit down. I'm in a meeting. Don't disturb. It went on for about 2 minutes. Yeah, it went on for about 2 minutes, and then I'm like, you're going to be a Trump. You're acting like Trump right now. And
Oh my goodness.
You went that far.
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
you know, like as soon as he hears one of us is on a Zoom call, that's when everything happens.
You're gonna be like Trump, or you'll be
What
like
a
Trump.
rebel.
No, and then
That
he's
is-
crying, "Don't call me Trump!" So all that sarcasm, people are
Oh my
hearing
God, I
it.
can't believe
So they heard all of that.
All of that until I turned around and I'm seeing everybody's pinging me and people were just laughing, and I'm like, "What?"
So funny. So many funny things. Did you guys see that lady too that was on the toilet and forgot the camera was facing her?
No.
She sat on the toilet. She forgot the camera was
Oh,
facing her.
goodness gracious.
And she quickly swung the laptop around.
Oh, but they already saw us. It was a bit
But
too
there it
late,
is.
wasn't it?
She literally took her laptop from the room, went to the toilet, and sat there with the camera.
Oh, those Zoom things.
oh my God.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
How is everyone doing today? Everyone good?
I mean, after embarrassing myself, I'm okay.
Oh, good.
It is what it is. Just like I said in the last episode, it is what it is.
On this day of the 12th
On this
of July,
day.
12th of August.
You know how we've been talking about the whole Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion debate going on Instagram? It's not really a debate, more of the criticism on the video that just came out, WAP. And we were just talking about this yesterday. What do you guys think about that? The whole video and everything.
Yeah, that whole thing still is like doing my head in, for the lack of a better word. Do you know what I mean? Like the fact that they even had to like discuss the whole music video. For those who don't know, Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B came out with a music video about their song WAP. We're not going to say the full meaning of WAP. Go and Google it. You don't know.
Take a guess, guys.
But the music video was very it was done in a in a very sexual
R18
way, which, you know, to each their own. That's that's
Who
the
they
kind of
are.
people they are, exactly. And you don't expect nothing less from them.
Yeah.
But it sparked a lot of discussion and a lot of like, they're supposed to be role models, you know? And it just brings up all these issue of, you know, women having to be, you know, being set at a particular higher standard when all these men and other people are not even reaching that standard themselves. It's just crazy.
And the thing is, if you don't want your kids or your family or people that are younger to see the videos that these people are releasing, then don't play in front of them. Simple.
Thank you.
Just because, yes, they're doing explicit videos, that's them, that's who they are, and they shouldn't have to change themselves to be able to like satisfy the society because they want them to live a certain way. I just find that so ridiculous, and the fact that women as like women go through so much, and everybody has a certain expectation. Oh, you can't dress this way. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, you have to do this a certain way. Or, oh, you can't buy a house because you have to make sure the man buys it. Because if you do, then you'll be like
Intimidated.
The man is going to be intimidated by you, and it shouldn't be that way. I really just find it ridiculous. And every time I think about it, it annoys me so much, you know? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just can't do it.
Yeah,
I know, definitely.
I personally haven't watched the video, but I just watched snippets of the video itself.
Do you know my anaconda don't?
Yeah, of course
Oh,
I do.
yeah.
So kind of think about it around that realm.
Yes. I've been seeing a few tweets there and then about this, like they are supposed to be role models to our children. If I'm looking for a role model for my son, I wouldn't go to a music artist. They have their own issues. And
Exactly.
Not like putting them down. You know what I mean? They are very
It
good
wasn't shade,
people,
it's just
so-
fact.
So
There's
I
people like
wouldn't
Obama that you can use.
Yeah, I would direct him to someone who would inspire me myself, say Michelle Obama or Barack Obama. And so Cardi B is any other girl in the music industry, so is Megan. So we shouldn't be holding them to, like, they are not role models to our children. You
I
get
mean,
what
they're not that they could be depending in a different aspects, but they're not obligated to serve that
exactly, that's the
purpose.
right.
Yeah.
Even Michelle Obama is not obligated to serve the purpose as a role model. But you still, if you don't want your kids to see these explicit things, as Liz said,
Don't show
that's
it.
reason why parental control exists. And if you're saying, oh, you know, that's hard and all of that, then don't leave them unsupervised with a gadget.
Exactly. Money to your kids.
And that's why, like you said, there's parental
Control, yeah.
So you can use that.
And in Australia, there is ABC Kids, Channel 22, which is made for kids, and sometimes has music videos for kids, which are made for the younger people.
Yeah.
Even for myself, I watch that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not just for kids. And it's also the whole singing about all that stuff. It's not actually very new. So I don't know why everyone's so mad about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's because of a certain kind of time we're in right now. 2020 has a different vibe to it.
It does.
Like how
It does.
when we're talking about inclusivity in the beauty industry, for instance, it's been a
Yeah.
continuous conversation. But this year, like the aura or energy around it is different. Same thing as this whole discussion. Do you know what I mean? And what they're even talking about, someone said on Twitter, and they said it so beautifully, that Lil Wayne, who I love or loved, I don't know how I feel about him right now, but this guy literally said that Lil Wayne has been making him sing about lollipop since he was like 9 years old.
Literally, and I used to like that song. So,
If you don't know what the song Lollipop is
definitely.
about, do you know what I mean? Like,
It's so bad.
people are saying that music they're doing these days is just so disrespectful to the music that was existing back then. Someone literally posted one of the video musics that existed back then in the 19 something, and the lady was singing about explicit stuff.
It just
I know.
it just wasn't
It's
like
because they weren't showing skin.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
They weren't
but
showing
it was
as
kind
much
of like
skin.
prohibited back then. It wasn't, women's body wasn't celebrated. Women's body was seen as a taboo if you show a little bit of skin, even if you wear makeup back then as well. This is, when they say, when women is acting different way, they have hysteria and all of that. But we're in different times. Meg Thee Stallion, the way she started different. Cardi B was a stripper.
Exactly.
That was her background and all of that. And she's a wonderful artist, if I can say that. Meg Thee Stallion is. Why are you expecting them to conform to a different kind of,
standard?
Yeah.
The thing is, if men actually, they record so many explicit videos. Like, there's a lot out there.
Not even
And
that, the
it's
things
so-
they say.
Exactly, and it's actually so cringeworthy sometimes.
And
I'm not saying,
derogatory
like,
to women.
yeah, and I'm not saying that there's some, videos from female artists that are not cringeworthy. There definitely is. But male, they do that as well, times 10. And the way that, what you said is that they're derogatory to women. Like, it's so ridiculous. And I'm just like...
they glorify that when they
Yeah.
do that.
It's so stupid. Like, so you do that and you don't want women to do what they want to do, and you feel like, no, women have to bow down to society. It's absolutely nonsense.
Simply because they're women. And this guy, there was this man, hang on, there's a moth in my room. There was this man that posted a video and they shared it on Twitter, and it was talking about how Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B's video sets women back or something. This other politician said the same thing as well. White politician, over my head, I'm sorry. MAGA politician as well.
Yeah.
Make America great again, saying that they have set women back 100 years. And this black man also saying also the same thing, saying that he has a daughter and he's going to have to put his daughter in line because these women are not being good, as a role model to his daughter and all of that. I'm like, okay, so do you have a son? Do you plan on having a son? Are you going to use the same approach when your fellow male, but artists they've been doing this thing for a long time. I remember even this artist, 69. How do you pronounce 6X99? The one that wants to be black. I'm sorry. I'm not even sorry. I'm not sorry at all.
Luckily, I don't know him.
Yeah, it's alright. You're not missing much.
Yeah, it's okay. You're not. His recent music video, you see all the booties bouncing. Jason Derulo's video, which one was it that had all these women bouncing their booties up and down in the video?
Is it Wiggle?
Is it Wiggle? Thank you.
I think so.
When you see music videos, it's always the women who are always naked and the guys are always fully dressed up, kind of.
Because that's how they see them.
Yeah. And I'm like, you've lowered the woman to be that kind of teddy bear, or how should I say it? So now
object.
when
An object,
So when these women come up to, they're two women having fun in a video, their own video, and then boom.
But you know what though? Sometimes I'm like, okay, men do that, but also why would women accept that? Allow themselves to be in that situation, but accepting to be in that video.
Status.
Yeah, but like, it's just
Social media.
I don't blame.
Also,
honestly,
I don't blame them, but they also contribute to it as
still
well.
Work, yeah.
It's work.
Yeah, they're working.
People do that, and also they see that as the way of celebrating their body. Do you know what I mean? But then I do agree, somewhat agree with what you said. I do. Like, if these women don't say yes to it, it's not gonna happen. And honestly, if they don't say yes to it, if all women they approach to be the model in their music videos don't say yes, they won't have naked women in their music video available to do it. Women also let's not even go into plastic surgery and all that just for the purpose of being in the music video, because that happens a lot as well. But the main thing is, if we're going to go after a certain gender for doing something that is quote and unquote quote and unquote wrong, we should also have the same, what's the word?
Expectation.
Viewpoint, perspective.
Expectation, or hold the other gender to the same standard. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
If you're going to complain about these two women singing about women's genitalia in their music video,
and it's literally about their own body.
It's literally about their own genitalia. Exactly. But these men have been talking and singing about their genitalia and actually describing what they're going to do with it, with women, but calling women the B word in their music video, and not even in a term of endearment way, but a derogatory fashion and all of that. Hold them to the same standard. Just because you're men and we're women doesn't mean that we have to conform ourselves to the standard you've already set in your head. I am 6 sick and tired of men setting a standard in their head
Exactly.
that we're supposed to meet.
Yeah.
Meet,
and
they're not even meeting that themselves. I'm sick and tired of it.
Exactly. Like, if we're going to look at it from an African perspective, that's actually what a lot of women face as well. Like, there's that expectation that women, once you finish studying, you're expected to get married. You're expected to not do anything else but to get married, have kids straight away, beat the person in the house, and men are just supposed to sit down and twiddle their thumbs and do absolutely nothing.
I know.
And it's supposed to be supposedly the head of the house. Do you know what? Like,
without actually having the tools to be the head.
I know, exactly. Like, I don't find anything wrong in me helping and doing all of that because I'm your wife. But I also would not allow you to sit there and do nothing because you think you're the man of the house. Like, why exactly do...
Since when?
I know, since when? Like, I just don't understand it. And it's so sad that is what a lot of women face. And some women seem to think that is the right way to go because they don't really know much more about it. They're like, oh, okay, because this is what it said. Yeah, I'll do it. Some women. I'm not saying all of them.
I don't blame the women that conform to that. A lot of women do believe in the traditional sense, like in the traditional expectation of a woman in the African society. And kudos to them.
Yeah. Well done.
Absolutely kudos. And I think it seems like God has given them that man that actually has the tools and skills to be a leader and can actually lead.
Yeah, the golden boy.
The golden man. The Simba. Thank you. The Mufasa and the Simba combined. The main thing that just bothers me is the fact that a lot of these men out here, or boys graduating into men, that automatically want to be the head, but they're not actually. They just... To them, it seems like being the head is mostly like having authority over you or being superior than you. But being a partner and being a leader in a relationship does not automatically equate to superiority. You need to be able to actually lead before you can actually be considered a leader. If you don't have the tools to lead, how am I supposed to respect you or respect that, okay, you are a leader. You know what I mean? And being a leader doesn't mean that I just resort to doing things just because that is a woman's role. Yeah. What defined that?
The thing is, like,
our parents' upbringing. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
so sad.
No, basically the parents, like some people in the African setting, like this is something which is more like you inborn with it, like your mom has done it, your grandma has done it, and your great grandma has done it. So you are brought up in this sense that you are supposed to be submissive or obey. Should I say obey? Like literally kneel down for your husband.
Without substance.
And without questioning.
without questioning. That's it. You just have to do it.
So yet a guy, or rather a man or a male figure, is not trained to be the other way around. Like, say in the marriage setting, before a woman gets married, in some cultures, they're all taught or coached on how to handle a man. And this always leaves me with a question. Is this man who is going to be the future husband given the same tutorials or same education on how to be a
husband,
or how to handle a woman, because the woman is given all this so much information on your husband should be treated like this, your husband should be like this, and I'm like, hey, how about that husband?
But then at the end of the day, women are they're not looked after properly because they end up doing all the looking after, and they have kids, they do all the looking after, and some men don't do what they're supposed to do or help out.
And this includes working class women that still come home and still do the things of the house because, once again, the man is the head of the house and is not supposed to be doing house chores.
If you're trained to look after him, like work or not working, you're supposed to come back, even though he's been home all day, or if both of you have been coming from work, you come back from work, whatsoever, cook dinner, look after the kids, blah, blah, blah. He's busy being a man and the head of the house, so which is something I just say that is BS.
I mean, what is equality for if we can all be equal and do things?
No, but this is the thing. Not everyone believes in equality, Liz. We can't forget that. So
I know. Not
majority of these men.
Yeah, that's the problem. Because I feel like if they tested equality, if these women tested equality, like how it feels like to be in an equal relationship, they would enjoy it. But because their mom, aunt, blah, 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 any female figure in their life has done what they are expected to do, so they don't feel like they're missing out anything. But if they really saw the other side of the coin and say, oh, actually it's really good if my husband helped out in making dinner as I shower the kids, so we can save time. So I feel like they would enjoy the same thing. They'll say, yeah, that's good.
I mean, I don't know if I should say this, but like, in what way is it right for your wife to come back from work, as you did, you came back from work as well, trying to cook dinner, got kids, trying to do all of that, and you're just sitting there watching TV or doing something else while she's running around?
It is that expectation that my mother did it, so why can't you?
I mean,
it is that.
That was then.
Yes.
This is now. This is the 24th century. Things develop. Everybody learns.
Am I your mother?
Yeah.
I ain't your mama.
Thank you, Jada.
I just know, I know that
Nelson.
not everyone is going to necessarily agree with what I'm saying or with what we're saying, but again, that is my view on it, and that is my, I wouldn't say opinion, exactly.
Yeah, and then that brings I've had a few comments like marrying an African woman who is educated is kind of a pain in a sense that...
That's what
I've heard people say that. A lot of,
that's what
I've heard a lot of...
Yeah.
I know myself, I know that I have gotten to that, like I have been... What's the word? People have said it to me like, your mouth is too blah, blah, blah. You know, you just think because you're in Australia, you've done all this study that you're not supposed to do some things just because. Like, it's just... People do say that a lot, and it's gut-wrenching that just because someone has gone to uni, someone is educated, doesn't mean, like, if you're fearful of a woman like that, that says a lot about you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely. That kind of guy who is a potato somewhere up there, kind of age. That's how it turns.
Mashed potato.
Yeah, mashed potato.
Mashed potato.
Yeah, it is kind of really... I just look at it and I'm like, this is so wrong.
I know,
that is why... Have you also heard about these things where in some African cultural settings, women or a girl child is looked at as commodity, in a sense that there is no need to take you through school if there is your brother.
Yes.
Yeah, that
you're just there to get married and have kids
then.
and do all the work.
Yeah. That happened a lot back then, like grooming a child to become someone's wife. Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
And
So
that is
sad.
just and also a baby factory as well.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of baby factory, that's another expectation. The expectation that women were made to make babies. So if they can't, it is their fault. There's something, because this is what your body is meant to do. That's another expectation that I feel like people need to normalize, knowing that just because our body, you know, like we can carry babies and stuff, doesn't mean that is an automatic, you know, confirmation that yes, that can happen. Do you know what I mean? And also that you have to do it.
You have to. Like in most
you don't like
You don't have to.
In
it's
most,
not a have to.
like in situations where a couple is unable to bear children, most of the pain or the blame is always put on a woman.
Yeah, of course it is.
And when you go through medical science and tests, in most instances, it's the guy who can't have children, but always it's the woman who is like...
They ignore it. Yeah,
like, you can't bear children. So that expectation is, a woman, you have to have the children. It's not like all this, you know.
A lot of men find it, again, I hope people are really listening to the words we're using here, because I think we're being careful with our words in terms of generalizing. That's what I'm saying. A lot of men don't believe there's something wrong with them because
it's not them.
They understand.
No, not that. Not even that, because I'm a man.
Nothing can go wrong.
So you go and do the fertility test. I'm a man. I'm good over here. Do you know what I mean? Again, that expectation that you're supposed to be the one to be able to do it. You know, it's just the general expectation placed on women in the society in general is appalling. But the expectation placed on women in the African culture is even more. I'm
It's
sorry, atrocious.
It's so much worse.
And people try to bring in what the Bible say, what the Quran say about
We all know what the Bible says.
about that women are supposed to be submissive. Yes, but men are also supposed to be submissive. The first verse, especially as a Christian in that Bible says, both of us should submit to each other.
Listen to each other.
Listen, love each other just as I loved you. That's I'm not trying to be all biblical, but that's what it says. Why are people focusing on just one?
Why can't you follow that? Because they seem to follow the
culture.
Bible to the T.
I know.
But when it comes to that is not being followed. And then it now comes to, no, it's not the way it goes. But what does the Bible say? If you want to now use the Bible.
Yeah, and then also in the African family setting where children are divided, there is gender-based roles in a sense that the girls are just confined in the kitchen,
cooking, washing.
Expected to be in the kitchen,
Yeah, and then the guys may go play
outside, play ball,
play ball. So, and I feel like when life goes on, life turns the other way around. A guy, you at one point one day need to cook for yourself, so you've missed out all that essential education.
Didn't Chimamanda say that effortlessly?
Yeah,
Chimamanda.
She did.
Yeah, she said that.
Yeah, and I'm just like spot on.
Are they not going to eat?
Exactly.
Are you not going to
learn to cook? I know.
Are you not going to eat?
And some men would just go, what are we eating?
But because the world or the community setting has trained a future wife to take care of that, so that comes to be not an issue.
Sometimes it just makes me laugh. I'm annoyed by it, but sometimes I just laugh at the level of
misogyny.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Definitely. At that level.
Misogyny, especially from these men that don't even have the foresight, the fortitude and foresight to be a man. That is what pisses me off the most. And then have the audacity to say, let me be a man. If you have to ask me permission to be,
that means you're a ball and a half.
If you open your mouth one day and say something that is so contradictory to everything you're saying, and the next thing you're telling me that I am a man, like, that is just, make it make sense.
We also get a lot of criticism. Criticism.
Yeah.
Criticism. Thank you. We also get a lot of that from our own people, and also females, other females as well.
Yes.
Like when we try to tell them, oh, you don't actually have a choice over your own body and everything. It's like, oh, that's such a white thing to say.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been brainwashed to think this way or something. It's like, why?
I don't like that.
Exactly.
Why did they automatically say, oh, you've been brainwashed? What are you, like, white now?
Or maybe we're all brainwashed and we're just trying to unlearn the things that we've been conditioned
to.
That's very true, and I think that we are actually all brainwashed, because even men at some point,
let's use the word conditioned.
We've been conditioned to think a certain way.
It's very similar to brainwash.
I know, it just sounds better.
But even men, they were taught, they were brought up like that, so maybe they also want to unlearn a lot of those dangerous thinking processes and everything. So
and can I just say as well, sorry, how they say men are supposed to do the fixing of the inner house. I like to fix stuff. I will do my thing.
If I can't do it, I'll ask you.
Exactly. If I can't do it, I'll come to you and say, can you do this for me? I would figure it out and do it. And that's just the thing. So I'm just like, why do men have to be the only one that does that when I am physically able and capable of doing that myself?
Can I say, in line with that, I also want to recognize these men out here that actually have they have this internal battle of because they've been conditioned. I know we're mainly talking about women's expectation and women's society, but I want to pay respect to the men that have been conditioned to believe that they have to be the one to do these things, to be the provider and all of that. And they've been having this internal battle, they really want to try, but because of the amount of conditioning, I just want to. Did I finish my sentence? The amount of conditioning that they have gotten growing up, they just can't seem to let go. I want to commend the men that are actually trying. And actually because the thing is that people our parents and grandparents don't really realize the amount of the mental stress on these men out here that have been conditioned to believe that they have to be the provider.
Honestly.
And it's a lot. And I see it in some men. I do see it a lot I have seen it in a few men, and when I then want to kind of bring attention to that, they're like, no, that's not it. But you can see that they are dealing with that. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah,
man, that's enough appreciation for you
that's
today. I'm sorry, we move on. Yeah.
That being said, there's still those kind of men who believe in equality, who believe that there shouldn't be no gender roles. They believe a woman can be a CEO of a company and can still be a mother. So kudos to those
equal pay.
Yeah. So there's still those. Yep.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like again, when a lot of people, men and women, do say that there's no such thing as equality in a relationship, particularly. And I think I kind of want to understand, again, I want to understand what they're saying. I get that, though. In such a way that majority of them say that, okay, at the end of the day, there's still going to be a little bit of a difference. And what I've got to say to that is a little bit of a difference is nothing compared to the massive difference when you're both working, but one of you is expected to do way more than the other.
Yeah.
Equality to me, I don't know about you guys, equality to me is mostly like, again, the whole gender role.
Yes,
just because I am a woman doesn't mean that I have to be the one to look after the kids and only give them to you when they're clean.
Yeah, or that I have to be in the kitchen all the time.
Yes,
and don't call the kitchen my kitchen.
Yeah,
it's our kitchen. That's something a lot
of
African men do.
Your kitchen. I'm like, okay, so
they're not my cooking dinner? Stuff.
What's for dinner?
I know.
Yeah, we should all discuss together what is for dinner.
And I think like that's always going to be an issue, because either way, if it's always addressed, it's always going to be an issue on women, because either way you're not going to win, whether you discuss it or not.
And I think that's mostly due to like outside influences, because I have seen relationships that actually work in such a way, like none of them, like the man doesn't have a misogynistic view on their wife. The wife does not expect the husband to be the sole provider. Absolutely not.
In my relationship,
but when an outside, but when an outside, I don't know if in your relationship, what I'm about to say, when an outside person then comes in and sees how they're acting and they say, oh, you're whipped.
Yeah,
and then that can because I literally read a story on Twitter yesterday about this. Actually, they're white, which I found quite interesting. But I do know like different Southern cultures in the US. And this man, they were working really fine, but people in his workplace had been saying things to him because of the fact that he had been helping with the kids, helping clean, helping set the table, and all of that. And everyone was telling him different things at work, saying that as a man, they shouldn't be doing that. That the wife is not allowing him to be a man.
What?
Even the husband, the father-in-law, and the brother. I'll send you guys the link. I can put in this description too if you're interested. And they were saying, and they were fine, and all of a sudden they started having issues
because someone else would say something, and then they take that on board.
That takes me to this. Back to the whole Meg and Cardi situation. The person online, someone online that said like these women are not being a good role model because they also said that you need to know that women are more easily manipulated.
Whoa.
So if you're doing videos like this, women are going to be manipulated to think this is how we should be you should act or whatever. And I'm saying that to say, if you're saying that, what should we say about you men that are easily like swayed
influencing these
by
young boys out there?
Exactly. Also by what your friends say to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you should be a man. And how dare you cook?
Okay. Do you know when I hear
Anifa,
it should be a
don't
man,
start cutting your hair. Sorry.
Anytime you move it, Hanny, we hear it.
Did you hear her
snip it? I did.
Yeah, you were saying.
I was saying like when you hear "Let me be a man" or "the man," it triggers something in my head. And I hear from someone, I'm the man of the house. It just triggers it because I'm like, what is a man?
Maybe you need to speak to a therapist about that.
It wouldn't be a trigger. Maybe if they were doing something to show that they are the man, but if they're not,
that's the main
and they
time.
want that time.
Yeah, that's the main time it would trigger. It is a bit of a triggering sentence, especially when you know this person hasn't been acting nothing like a man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What is a man?
It's like that's be a man.
I want to know the definition of a man. I think we mentioned something like this in our
Yeah.
last episode.
Let me Google it. What is a man? What defines a man? An adult male human being, a man or boy who shows the qualities such as strength and courage that men are traditionally supposed to have. A woman's husband or boyfriend. What does that is a bit problematic to me.
That is a very problematic definition.
A man is a man or boy who shows qualities such as strength and courage that a man are traditionally supposed to have.
Is there a way that someone can become a man? Is there like directions?
Yeah, these days there is.
Yeah.
You know, to just help those boys out there. Oh god,
Make
so
it
funny.
Teach them how
Oh,
to be a
dear.
man.
I know.
Literally.
Men don't
You know,
cry.
they just need like good people around them. To
Honestly.
be honest. Have we gone off topic, guys?
Wait, we haven't.
Oh, okay. I thought because we were like talking about men, like men.
No, it is the expectation on
Women, yeah.
women having to meet these particular standards set by the society. It doesn't matter how much qualification we have, how much experience we have, how much money we have, how much success we have. At the end of the day, we're women, and that is a thing that is problematic because we are not defined by our genitalia, our ovaries, and our submission. We also have other qualities that defines us, and that is always overlooked in today's society, and that is the issue here. Which also, going back to the Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion video, once again, it seems like these people are having issues with it now because they're talking about their own genitalia, but when the men want to talk about it, they don't have any issues with it. So as long as we're conforming to the expectation they have in their mind about us, they're fine. But when we go outside of the norm, then it becomes an issue.
And it shouldn't be that way at all.
Yeah, and that's a problem in general, in every culture that I know of, especially African culture, and it seems to be like in the US as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what can we do to, how can we help ourselves in this like kind of misogynistic expectation or thought or view? I don't know.
It's just remembering to be yourself. Don't let anybody change who you are. Hold that up to you. And just
don't do what you feel like you don't want to do. It's
exactly.
you.
Yeah, just do you.
As long as you're doing things, if you're religious out there, if you feel like what you're doing is not too far off your expectation as a woman or whatever in a religious sense, then more power to you and do you. Like we don't have to just conform to a particular standard and then we're not happy, but we're just pretending and just doing all this because that is what is expected
keeping up
of us.
appearance and stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway, we hope we've, I don't know. I don't even know everything. I think we were kind of heated at one point.
It got heated.
Should we add a disclaimer for anyone feeling anyone feeling offended?
Oh, anyone feeling attacked?
Attacked.
If you feel
It wasn't our
offended.
intention to attack you. We're just saying the truth, and we're just speaking out our mind.
Thank you.
Yes.
So anyway, thank you so much for listening. That is that about that. Once again, if we did offend you in today's episode, that wasn't our intention. You can feel free to come and comment on our Instagram page or whatever, and then we can hash it out. We're not all meant to agree, do you know what I mean? So thanks so much for listening once again. You've been listening to Legally Melanin Podcast. My name is Esther.
My name is Hanny.
My name is Liz.
And this is Binti.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao, Bella.
Sayonara.